Yo, how is everybody doing out there? This is the Amateur Otaku slash Shatter After Crew live talking movies. And this particular movie is an anime movie, so it makes sense to just blend everything and, trade places, and inhibit the other podcast body. I'm making this weird, aren't I?
I mean,
That's the usual.
it's not wrong, but yeah, we crossed the streams. That's really what we did.
That's exactly
Literally.
what we did. Yes. Yeah. So Brandon, Jamie, Isaac, and Mike, we're all here, and we figured after talking Suzume for like a week, we talked this amazing movie, Makoto Shinkai. Isaac. There's a lot of strength there. A lot of
Good. You
Well
finally learned.
He
A
approves.
million times, but you got it. You got it.
So Makoto Shinkai'S, that was purposeful, and I'm probably gonna mess it up a couple of times as the stream goes on. But we figure we stay on the train of amazing anime films, and we go straight to his. I wouldn't say his breakthrough first hit, because I haven't seen other films from him apart from Garden of Words, but this is definitely his first international success.
It's the one that arguably put him in the mainstream eye, even if he has like 5
centimeters per second.
Thank you.
It's the definition of a breakout hit. Like the other ones may have been hits, but this is the breakout hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He did miss a shot.
Definitely for me, like this was the first film of his that like I just kept hearing people constantly talk about. So definitely a breakout hit in my eyes.
So as you guys saw, we're going to be talking Your Name. We've talked about it before on the channel when it was just me and Isaac, and we had a blast talking about it. I think we talked about it because Weathering with You was coming out, which came out I think was 2 years ago now, or 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, it came around the start of the pandemic. So
yeah,
2019.
So it's rained a bit. So I love how we get a chance to talk Your Name. With these many years, his career just keeps getting better. His movies keep getting better. The animation. This is one of those films that I saw, and I see how much the animation has evolved, especially after just seeing Suzume and how well CGI and actual hand-drawn digital animation has gotten better. But it still holds up very well. But more importantly, we figured this would be fun to cover because not only Leo understands that it's a phenomenal film, and apparently there's war with the Oscars because
didn't
we don't like the Oscars.
Didn't this movie lose against Boss Baby out of everything?
Damn.
I don't think that's what happened, but I can fact check that. It was snubbed regardless, but I don't think it was Boss Baby. I don't think the Academy would allow that.
That I don't know. I feel like Boss Baby won over something it shouldn't have.
I'm fairly certain it was Boss Baby, but I can.
It lost to Inside Out.
Was it Inside Out?
That's the one that won the Oscar in 2016 for Best Academy Award for Best Animated Feature Film.
I see.
I mean, it's Pixar.
I'll allow it.
But it's Pixar.
Nominated.
Oh, so it wasn't.
Okay.
So question is this: if it wasn't even nominated, can it be considered a snub?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm just asking.
That's what a snub is. It didn't even get a shot. Yeah.
Okay.
That's awful.
So it's not worse if it gets nominated and it loses.
I have said that
because at least when it gets nominated, it gets recognized. Is that the mentality?
But even then, if it's obvious, that's still bad.
I've said this before, and I say again. Unless it's Hayao Miyazaki, or should I say Studio Ghibli, and more importantly, Hayao Miyazaki, the Oscar seems to not... they act like Japanese animated movies, aka anime movies, don't really exist. Honestly.
East Film Red was snubbed last year. That's all I'm saying.
And interesting enough, Miyazaki was there. Like the movie Zootopia. I'm lost. Oh wait, I think I looked at the wrong year because I looked at 2016, but that's when the movie came out. The
So the
Oscars.
Oscars would be 2017.
Okay, then
Yeah, and Belle was also snubbed.
so this podcast is about all the
Mm.
snubs. We're not going to talk about the film. We're going to snub Central. Damn it!
You know, okay. So while we're talking about this, I just want to run down the animated films that did come out that year.
Go.
Zootopia won. Kubo and the Two Strings were nominated, as was Moana, The Red Turtle, and My Life as a Zucchini.
I don't
I
The
don't want to
only
know what
one-
that
remember
means.
that one.
The
Yeah.
only one that I would have respected that it would beat Your Name or at least be in the same category would be Kubo and the Two Strings.
Moana's
That would
a
be the
banger,
only
but
one.
That's another discussion.
My
What was
Life as a Zucchini sounds like an anime.
It definitely does sound like
Yes,
an
but I don't
anime.
think
Does look-
Zootopia should have won.
It does sound like an isekai, but that's besides the point.
The day I
So
got
we're talking
transformed
anime
into a
today.
zucchini.
See, now we have to
Isekai
watch
is
the
an anime
Zucchini
genre.
film. Now we have to look up Zucchini.
Mhm.
That we got to look up that film. We got to watch it and see if it deserved to be in the category. Damn it!
Again, this is a conversation for another day, but why doesn't Japan just submit more anime films for the foreign film category? I think they can do
Good
pretty well there.
question.
Like, that's just me. But anyway, let's get back to Your Name.
My name is Brandon. Oh wait, your movie. So you just set it up, so I just went with it.
That's
Yeah.
nothing. They've said "What's your name?" like 20 times in this movie. In my brain, every time, Alexander Hamilton. Every
His name is
time,
Alexander
Fail.
Hamilton, and there's a many things I haven't done. Just you wait, just you wait. Sorry. Thank you.
Well done.
I'm impressed. The only song I remember from that is The Room Where It Happened. That's about it.
That song is fire, and we're gonna keep getting dragged in a different direction. Be in the room where it happens. So Your Name is an amazing film by Makoto Shinkai, and I enjoyed it. We've had plenty of fun with it, but we want to hear from you, Jamie, because apparently this was your first experience watching it. So
Right.
it's a rewatch. I kind of dubbed this the Rewatch Chatter because three-fourths of the team has seen it more than once, but this is your first time watching it. So you get the first word. Talk to me.
20
Right.
minutes in.
Right. So, I
Solo
just
shot.
want everybody, buckle up, get ready. I have some things to say. Oh no. Just to be clear, this is her saying that. So I liked Your Name, but I definitely like Suzume as a film a lot more. Right after I finished watching Your Name, I texted the group and I was like, you know what? This movie has a lot of anime-isms, and I feel like it's maybe a few too many for my liking. And it's like if you took those things out, then I could totally see it being a much more like immersive experience for me, and I would be like, oh yeah, this definitely, I could see this competing with Suzume. I would have to think a little bit more about like which one I like more. But because of the anime-isms and I don't know, I just felt like the ending of the movie, it was good, but also filled with anime-isms. I was they lost me a little bit. They lost me a little bit.
Elaborate. What's an animeism? At least the
Right,
biggest one
right.
that sticks out.
Yeah.
So the biggest one for me, definitely at the end. Ruh-roh, yeah. Definitely at the end. When they see each other and they're like, oh my god, like let's write our names on each other's palms so that we don't forget each other. Which I'm like, I kind of don't understand why you're forgetting why Taki would forget Mitsuha and vice versa anyway. But then like, you know, they end up getting separated and Taki doesn't get her name written on his hand, but Mitsuha has Taki's name written on her hand, and even then she still forgets who he is. And so the part for me where I was just like, bro, come on. It's like he's sitting there like, Mitsuha, yeah, like I saved you. Let's go, Mitsuha. Or no, he didn't save her yet. He's like, yeah, Mitsuha, like we finally met, whatever. I'm so excited. Mitsuha. What is her name again? Oh, what is going on? And like, bro, you said it like 20 times just now. How did you just now forget? I don't know. That was that. But then I did like how I wasn't expecting the turn of like Mitsuha kind of dying, I guess, or yeah, dying pretty much. And so then Taki kind of had to like take over and find a way to turn back time and bring her back. I thought it was smart that they used like events from the past and trying to like merge them with the present to help influence the future. But yeah, the whole like forgetting your name and then constantly being like, yeah, this guy, what was his name? What is the name? I can't remember. What's the name? Like so many times I'm like, good grief. And then at the end, I like that they met up in the future, but it was kind of weird because it's like, you know, they were so like once they saw each other, they're like, oh my god, like we have to like get closer to each other, we have to connect. And then like right as they're about to connect, they literally just like try to walk by each other. And like, what? Why? Like you literally you know that this person was trying to meet you because you ran over to them, and now you're just like, oh god, don't look at me, don't see. And then you turn around.
That might be the most realistic part of the movie, if we're going to be real.
I don't know. You don't.
But here's the thing.
Literally walked off the train station and walked to the same area just to do that. That's not realistic.
No, but that's the thing. I want to open a can of worms right now, but I want to let you finish and really listen to what you have to say. What else you got?
Yeah, that part where they were trying to get together and then avoided each other. I was like, why are we doing this? But then they finally said something like, thank God. And then there's listen, how could you be shy and then damn near like stalk them, like let them knowingly know I'm trying to find you, and now you want to be shy? Like I don't know.
Those are the shyest ones.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But the beginning of the movie also like caught me off guard in a not so positive way when Mitsuha like woke up and just like, or no, it wasn't Mitsuha, it was Taki that woke up in Mitsuha's body and just like immediately started groping Mitsuha's chest, which like I can't take too many points off because I feel like anime just does like cheap perverted stuff like that anyway. But then it happened throughout the whole entire film, and I'm like, this is somebody who you like kind of considered to be a friend at this point, or at least like, you know, a friend moving into kind of like a romantic relationship. You would think you would stop doing that, even when he said like, oh, I know I shouldn't do this, I should stop doing it for Mitsuha. And then little sister walks in, and what is he doing? He's groping her chest again.
Like, he was bawling his eyes out though. He felt bad about it.
No. But even when he comes back after bringing her back and starts crying, he's
I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I don't know. I definitely liked Taki did.
Out of pocket, but he's not wrong.
That's why I kind of felt more for Mitsuha in this film, because I felt like she wasn't trying to, well, I feel like in general in anime, girls aren't like usually that perverse. So I was like, you know, it was pretty normal. But also, well,
Brandon,
that's not intentionally
back to us.
That's not intentionally perverse, but the things happen. True. But what was I even? I was thinking about Kakegurui. What was the point I was trying? Oh yeah. She was like actively going out of her way to try and make Taki's life better in some way, even though like in his eyes it wasn't like, not everything was improved, but like she got him the date with the girl that he wanted to go out with. And what did Taki do for her? give her some freaking 5 stars on her titties. That's about it. That's about that, and probably like I guess kind of riz up her male friend, but I don't think she was really interested in him. So I don't think that was really a favor. So I don't know. I feel like it was not an equivalent exchange. Mitsuha did more for Taki than Taki really did for her.
Jamie. I think this was equivalent exchange.
Until the end. When he was living as her, he didn't really.
What do you? Okay, there's no way that Mike just try to justify titties with bringing people back from the dead.
Denji does it all the time. I mean, come on.
See, and it's interesting you bring up Denji, because that was another, when I first was watching Chainsaw Man, the first few episodes, I was like, I don't know about this show. This guy is a perv. Like, I liked Denji as a character, but like him being so headstrong as far as like, I need to grab me some titties, or I need to like get big old kiss, a wet kiss. I was like, this guy is like, he's putting thirst. Right. I like, oh no.
Oh boy.
I like, he is taking freaking thirst to a whole new level here. Like, I don't know if he can be quenched. But
Thirst
then like
with a passion.
Yeah. But after I started to realize, that like, or I guess I really started thinking about the fact that, Denji, he's honestly just lived a pretty terrible life up to that point, and just wanted normal life experiences and pretty much tried to experience all of them like as quickly as possible. I'm like, all right, I kind of get it. And then they kind of, Chainsaw Man started being like less perverted, in my opinion, as it continued. So I'm like, okay, I can kind of work with this a little bit more. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like there's a lot of different pieces of media where like things get perverted, and it's usually like on the women's side. We never see any male stuff. Come on, equality. Where's the Magic Mike's 4, 5, and 6? Okay, but
I don't think that's equality either, though.
I mean, it's something for me though. it's something for me.
So. Am I good to go?
You are getting that equivalent in change is reversed harem. Just look that up and you find a lot.
Okay.
Isaac, I know you watch a lot of anime, but now I have a lot of questions about your experience with the reverse harem genre.
I have a sister that watches anime too. So.
He's about equality. I respect it. So, but yeah, those like, even though like those were my complaints, I still had things I liked about the movie. I just want to say that I still had a lot of things I liked more than disliked, but it was just because of those reasons I would put Suzume over Your Name.
I would do the same thing. Trust me, because I actually love Suzume more, but I love this film so much. Now, there's one thing that tells me that you watched it dubbed. You did, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you missed a very important point that for some reason Crunchyroll eliminated from the dubbed, and I have no understanding why. The reason I know is because I always watch it dubbed, but this time before the show I watched it dubbed. Number one, there's no subtitles, so every time there's something in kanji on the screen, there's no translation. Right? So apart from the whole mystic element of, because she's no longer officially alive and he no longer kind of switches with her, they're forgetting each other.
Mm-hmm.
When he wrote his name on her palm, right? She didn't get to write hers on his.
Right.
So he forgot her. When she's falling and actually looks at her palms, Taki never wrote his name.
Yeah, right.
He wrote, I love you.
That was the other thing. I was like, of course he didn't write his name when she needs to remember
it. But did you know that that's what he wrote?
Yeah. I now that you start talking about it, I'm like, oh no, I did watch it subbed. Okay,
so you did watch it sub.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Oh, because but the way you were explaining, like, wait a minute, but that's kind of why they forget their names, because they didn't.
It
have
was
any
just so
evidence.
instant because they would forget and then they would remember,
Yeah.
and there's no explanation on
I'm
that.
like,
Right.
why? That doesn't make
Which
any
is-
sense to me. But it's a,
Like,
it's anime.
You need
it's
the
magic,
exposition
so-
line of the timelines are making them forget because they're living two different type of deal that never
Right.
comes.
Yeah,
I feel like it's
and-
also,
He
then again,
effectively
you know,
changes the past, so you can
Yeah.
explain it as that's a different timeline, and they're kind of phasing between the two, but the movie never actually states it. You know,
Right.
Nice.
I dare
but
argue
I can see how you would want that to have more connectivity. It makes sense.
Plus,
Go, Isaac.
I would argue that they kind of show that they are creating another timeline when he is in that cave and drinking the sake. When you see the whole, what's the word for it? Alternative.
Like alternate
word?
reality.
Sort of
Well,
like.
she actually. Well, the whole thing about the whole.
I wouldn't
sequence
say
in the
real.
cave, though-
I was talking about the specific. There is specific animation style.
Yeah, when he falls and he kind of goes into a wormhole kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think that indirectly proves that there is some form of time paradox, time split kind of deal, and that's why they are forgetting their name, because I think that is the his reason of showing that. That's why they are getting their name kind of deal, because they're getting mixed between the timelines. That's just a theory. I could be wrong.
I disagree, mainly because Taki's already forgetting her name before he even starts that final trek to the mountain. Like when he's in that
Fair
hotel,
point.
he's already forgetting her name. And that particular sequence with the Kujikami Sake, it's all about him showing how that's a little piece of her. That's why you're going through her life. And then you get to that point. But
How
because
did he know which one was the right one? That's what I want to know.
Because he put it there. He was in Mitsuha's body when they went up there. That was him. He put it there.
Okay.
That's how he knows to go there as an option of what if this is, and he remembers the ritual that is a part of her that goes into the bottle. So what if that's how he gets a bit of her to then go back, into her life.
To think he drank the spit of somebody who didn't even know their name. Wild. Wild. I also kind of
disgustingly beautiful.
I kind of something else that I was like, come on, is what he's trying to tell his friends, like, oh yeah, I've been talking to this person, and then like all of the messages immediately just start deleting themselves. I was like, oh my god.
That's when you go like, what is going on?
Take a screenshot.
Yep.
Just turn the phone to them. Be like, look at it. They're all disappearing. Like something.
I love how we know how to run Taki's life more than Taki does.
That's the entire plot of the movie, is that anybody else in his life runs it better than he does.
See, that's what I was saying. She helped him. What did he do?
And do we all agree that one of his buddies was kind of into him?
I didn't get that.
There is an actual.
That's what this.
No, but there's an actual scene. Like the two people that go with him, are the two people that are interested in him.
I thought that like maybe he was like maybe bisexual, but I didn't necessarily think he was into Taki. I just thought they were friends. But I've also missed
there's
other
that
things
one
like
moment
that
where he
before.
blushes and goes like, he was kind of cute.
Yeah, but he was talking about some other dude or something like that. That's when I was like, oh, okay. I didn't think it was about Taki.
Okay,
but maybe I'm
pretty sure he was talking about Taki, because that's when,
he was right. He was talking to his friend and I was like, yeah,
that's
like
the
Taki's
first time they switched. And it's like, he was acting weird today. Yeah, he was kind of cute. It was pretty much the dialogue.
Oh yeah, that was right.
Equivalent.
See, but then the thing is, that was Mitsuha that was in Taki's body. So was he attracted to like the girlish feminine Taki, or just
the
like,
same
Taki?
thing as as Miss whatever her name is. I don't know
that's
her
funny.
name.
That's really funny. Just think about how funny that is. You don't know her name.
What was her name? I thought that when I was like pulling up the wiki because I'm like, dang, I don't remember anybody's
have a
names right
picture of
now.
Maybe
We do have a picture
We
of her.
do, but you didn't add the slides to the stream.
Let me see.
I don't know. Did I not? I think I might have. So let's talk about this person. So that's why it makes sense to me in a way, like the idea that the people that went with him on this particular journey were the two people that were low key interested
Miki.
in him. You
Her
know,
name
that
was
were
Miki.
so.
The more you know.
Yeah, I liked Miki. Miki was pretty cool. I thought it was kind of funny that Mitsu. I was like, damn it, I hate that I'm missing out on the date with Miki because I would probably act the same way. I'm like, damn it, I set this up. This is my hardware, and you get to go on this date and probably ruin it. And then he didn't ruin the date, but she definitely was like, yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same.
I mean, but it's like anything. It's like these people were interested in.
I'm sorry.
Damn.
Honestly, that's what I thought was gonna happen.
Oh my.
They both could have fought for Miki, honestly, because she said she wanted to go on that date. So maybe she's the real main character.
Now, I love that the little time that we spend like with her family. I love how her younger sister is like the one that runs the house.
For real.
Yeah, bro, that was so funny. Every morning, what are you doing? Breakfast. And he slams the door.
Oh, I thought it was so funny when Taki got back in Mitsuo's body for, I think it was the last time, and he was like crying and like groping Mitsuo's chest, and she's like, I'm going to school without you. Like, nah, this is weird.
This needs to stop.
I'm not walking with you.
Yep.
She's finally lost it. She finally lost. She was just so disappointed. Like, today was the breaking point. This was it.
Like, Grandma, you need to do something about that because this ain't right. This is not okay.
Why is it that almost every dad in films like this has to be low-key a dick? Why is Mitsuha's dad a dick?
It's the anime dad
I was
trope.
thinking that. I don't know, like, why? Why? What's the deal?
You're either
not everybody can be Piccolo.
Ain't
that the truth? Ain't that the truth?
You're either
well done.
You're either a dick or you're the oblivious but caring father of in My Neighbor Totoro. There is never something.
That's technically Taki's dad. Like, you only see him twice. Once with no audio, and the second one, you were supposed to make breakfast. Finish the miso. Bye. And like that's it. The kid is there to fend for himself.
Yep.
So.
Oh no, that was another. It's not something against the film, but something I just was like, damn it. I was like, why is the dad like this? I did like that. And I kind of wish we got more of Mitsuha's family, particularly with her grandma, because apparently, the grandma knew, like, oh, you're not Mitsuha, are you? And I think she said that before.
She mentioned it twice.
Yeah, she mentioned it 2 times. And I think one of the times was like before they all had like died in the original timeline. But as soon as she said that, I was like, what? And then I wanted to hear more because I'm like, wait, this isn't just like a random thing. Like, this is something that the whole family, or at least the women, which of course all of the women have experienced this in this family. And like, she of course says like, yeah, I don't really remember what happened though. I think I remember the time that I was living inside of someone else's body. I feel like that would be ingrained into my memory somehow.
You can say, Jamie, these women have endured countless generations of random growth.
Oh God, I didn't even think about that.
This is so bad.
I hope not. Oh no!
You know what? Shout out to Zootopia for the win.
I don't know why, but you kept mentioning generations and not forgetting, and I'm like, tragedy, horrible circumstances. Oh damn!
Maybe the grandma just pushed it back
into the farthest reaches.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
this is the Your Name review that everybody needs.
This started out as, just Freaky Friday, but in anime form, and it just evolved very quickly.
Jamie's here to set the record straight,
and
fight for equivalent exchange. Damn it!
I am. I hope not leave grandma alone. Yeah, that's what I hope. I did like the fact
I'm
that
sorry, Miss Jackson.
I did like the fact that like Taki picked up the grandma when they were like walking to like the ceremony side. Like, I thought that was
very
sweet.
honorable.
I was also kind of worrying. I'm like, I wonder if Mitsuha is also strong enough to carry a grandma, or if there was like some kind of
like animeism.
Yeah, like where it was like, exchange. Because I'm a guy, I will pick this grandmother up. Like, I don't know. It was like that. But I did think it was sweet. And I like that the grandma kind of recognized what was going on and kind of was trying to give some kind of guidance. I do like that. I liked that and wish I had more of that in the film. And I also kind of liked the ceremony that they did in the beginning. I thought that was pretty interesting. Was cool. Although it's like, I would never drink any of that. But I thought it was interesting.
I don't think anybody's meant to drink that. They just...
they said they leave it for the gods. So at first when Taki drank it, I kind of thought he was going to be like punished or something. Like not necessarily like struck down. But I thought something bad was going to happen. Like a god... Like a god would come in and be like, "Hey, why are you drinking my spit sake?" Like, what the heck?
I mean, what's going on? His life did flash before his eyes, and then he went unconscious. So take that how you want.
Yeah.
Hey, you saw the stars.
But I do recognize, like, I feel like those parts that I was interested in are more just like my interest in like Japanese culture, and it might not have necessarily like served the movie, but it was definitely something I was like, oh, like tell me more about this. Tell me more about the spit. I wanna hear about that.
There's supposedly a light novel adaptation of this movie.
Yeah, there is.
And I'm curious if they tap into more of those type of details in that novel.
I actually almost bought it once. I actually want to pick that up.
It's interesting.
It's written by Shinkai, so.
Oh, okay. It's interesting that you brought that up, Isaac, because I was definitely thinking about when we talked about Suzume, and I think it was Brandon that asked, like, how would we feel about like this being adapted into an anime? And I kind of thought the same thing with Your Name, and I'm like, all of the stuff about their culture and like the stuff with the grandma, like having the same experience with the body switching. I'm like, I feel like that would have been covered in an episode of the anime if it was a thing.
So supposedly they've been trying to make this a live action show forever.
Live action movie, and no thank you.
Well, the last one I heard was going to be a film series. Last I heard, but still, we have no idea what's going to happen.
There's also that movie with Mark Webb, the Amazing Spider-Man guy.
No, thank you.
Granted, he has those kind of movies. He's kind of good at. So.
Yeah, but this is like one of those films that it works in Japan.
Yeah,
I kind of need it. I kind of need it to be in that place and that environment with those characters.
And there's like so many, in my opinion, so many anime-isms that I feel like it would be weird to try and do it in live action. I don't think they would do nearly as many gropings or whatever. Like that would just be too weird. But
the upcoming Your Name live action remake has found its director. This is coming from IGN like 4 months ago. Carlos Lopez Estrada is the director of Your Name.
People are getting bold.
Is it a film or series?
It's a film, and the screenplay is being penned by Eric Heiser, who did Arrival and Bird Box.
I'm good with Arrival. I don't know how I feel about Bird Box though.
Yeah, Bird Box is not this. But interesting.
A swing, a hit, and a miss.
Yeah.
Hey, Warwick Denis. I have faith in Denis. Did a great job with that script.
J.J. Abrams is set to produce. Makoto Shinkai, who directed and created the original story, has no interest in the project, saying, I already left it behind.
That's fair, but I also feel like that's twofold. It's like I left this behind, and I don't want to be a part of the mess that you're gonna make.
Yes.
We shall see.
At least he's not. He's just upfront and say, I want to do something other than just rehash of my previous work. Just give me my money and I can do something else.
And
I just love the idea of Shinkai. They come to, like, J.J. Abrams comes to him and says, "You want to make a movie?" And he's just like, "I'm good, homies." He's like, "I'm gonna go make Suzume now. Goodbye."
Yeah, I got you. I got shit going on. I'm good.
I'm busy. Good luck with that, though.
I'm glad that you mentioned all your observations on the film, because it brings me to this point, which is a trend that I kind of see in all of Shinkai movies that I've seen. What happens with all the moms? There are no moms in Shinkai movies. Like Mitsuha doesn't have a mom, Taki doesn't have a mom. And Weathering with You, the kid that runs away has parents, but the young girl with her little brother doesn't have parents. And like in Suzume loses her mother. So I wonder if that's
up without his mother,
or maybe
Disney.
But the point is, I wonder if it's not necessarily that he was born without. I wonder if there's a loss thing there, because these are all kids that knew of their parents. You know what I mean? It's not like they were simply just not there. Is the idea of loss?
That's what I mean. He could have lost his mother when he was young, and that's why he always have the no mother there, because it's sort of like his personal stamp in every movie kind of deal. Again, maybe I'm overthinking it, but that
impossible.
I feel like it could also. I feel like it could also be, at least from my perspective, like, you know, if I lost my mother for some unfortunate reason, knock on wood, I feel like just my whole life would be a mess. Like, not saying my dad can't handle things, but my mom was definitely there for me more, like, emotionally. Then I feel like my dad is just, that's the kind of person that my dad is. And I kind of wonder if he maybe had like a similar relationship to his parents, if his mom was present in his life. But I also do feel like just like the presence of a matriarch is always usually kind of like calming and kind of reassuring in a lot of different media, including in anime. So maybe not having that kind of presence, it only helps kind of with the feeling of not necessarily panic, I guess, always, but just like the feeling that like something needs to be done, and I don't really have like a person or a whatever it may be to comfort me right now at the moment. Because like you said earlier, Brandon, like, you know, Taki's dad was present in the film like 2 times. I don't even remember the first time he was present, not gonna lie, but I do remember when he was like with him at breakfast, and although he was very caring and, you know, like, hey, it was your turn to make breakfast, but he still made breakfast anyway. He's like, all right, well, I'll see you after work, whatever, peace. Not saying he wasn't uncaring, but it's just like, you know, that's I don't know, I feel like things would have been different if his mom was present.
Yes,
it kind of goes back to what Shinkai was saying about Suzume, right? About the reason he's telling these stories is he wants to remind people of what it's like to live through these natural disasters, right? And so I think in this film specifically, it's easy for us not affected by it to forget tragedy. And I think that's the point of the story, right? Like, I think our main character's name, I'm blanking on it. Again, ironic. I don't have any notes.
Mitsuha and Taki.
Mitsuha?
Yeah. So Taki,
Right,
forgetting
right
Mitsuha. You see, I don't have a pen. That's the problem. would have been screwed. But him forgetting her name is, I think, significant because that's just like symbolism of that tragedy happened for him, what, 3-4 years ago.
Mhm.
And it's like every shooting or bombing or hurricane that we live through, so many people lose everything. And a lot of us can just go about our day because it didn't
Because
affect me.
Everything
You know?
happens so consistently that we don't see it as a freak occurrence that marks you. It's
Yeah,
just a
that as
normal
well.
occurrence that just and that is very powerful, Mike, because that is actually very true in the point. And it also connects with the idea that if you think about it, it was never about preventing the disaster. In other words, disaster is going to strike.
Mhm.
It's going to happen. Nobody can stop it.
Right.
But it's about remembering that it happened and what the tragedy was and what the casualties were. But in this case, how can we save people and protect them from this inevitable disaster? And I think that
Yeah.
was like the biggest thing for me, and going from there, because it's the certainty that the worst thing is going to happen or can happen.
Yeah.
And then as a society, what do we do with that?
So to kind of bring that back to why there's always loss, right? Going back to what Jamie was saying, if the point of the film is to highlight what it is like to live through a disaster or to lose someone, having that person who will reassure you that things are going to be okay and that you'll make it through kind of hamstrings the message in a way. It's the reason the Lion King is set up. Mufasa dies, and we have to get Simba away from his mother. Because the logical thing is, if Simba goes back to Sarabi, no matter what happened, even if he was responsible, Scar says it once, and it's like the most fire line read Jeremy Irons gives in the entire movie.
Mhm.
But anyway, so if Simba goes back to his mom, regardless of what happened with Mufasa, she's not gonna, kick him out of the kingdom. Everything would have turned out okay.
Mhm.
But we had to remove him from that so the story could happen. So it's like, even in a story where the mother exists, we have to find a way to get our protagonist away from them because they're that powerful of a figure in everyone's lives. Even in My Hero Academia, we had to put Deku in dorms to get him away from his mother. Because guess what? He wouldn't cry as much if his mom was around.
True.
But then you just heard Kashan and he cried anyway.
Yeah. unless you have Kachan's mom. She apparently, traumatized him. Like, dang.
Like, you see Kachan's mom and you know that she produced
Kachan.
Yep, she went through it.
Yeah.
That's a good point that you brought up, Mike. I definitely and you as well, Brandon. Like, the idea that this disaster was inevitable and like the only thing that you can do is, prepare yourself for it as best as you can. And even then, like, Mitsuha and Taki had to fight like relentlessly to, I thought that in the back of my mind. I was like, she is kind of fire. We need more of her. But
she just looks like Bakugo with boobs. I don't get this.
I don't see. Maybe he should have been a girl. I don't know. Maybe he'd be more popular. But yeah, I think the fact that
I think that has to be you. Why did you bring this up twice?
I didn't see that we brought that up once, so
just in case.
I did brought that up now. That I will admit, but I didn't notice we brought it up before that. So,
JB, continue,
please.
I'm trying to see where I feel like I'm like Isaac last episode. I'm like, where's my train of thought? It's gone. I don't know where it is.
I do,
but the idea that this disaster was inevitable, and like the best thing you can do is just like try to prepare yourself for it and try to warn other people. Like, even Mitsuha and Taki still had to like relentlessly fight to try and get people to safety just because they did not believe the threat was there. And honestly, like, reconnecting back to what Mike was saying about like, you know, the disasters that at least us in America are facing like practically every week, which is unfortunate to say, with like mass shootings on top of just the natural disasters that we have every year. It's like, when are we going to like heed the warning of like the people that have come before us or the people that have experienced this recently and say like, hey, something needs to change. Like we need to like actually like listen to each other and try to address this issue. And thankfully Mitsuha was able to talk to her dad and reconnect in some way and get a lot of people to safety. I don't think it was everybody in the town, but thankfully it was like a lot of people, including
No
Mitsuha.
deaths. The news reports.
Oh, was it no death? Oh, okay. I
Injuries,
missed that
no
part.
deaths. So.
Oh, maybe I thought the injuries part. Okay, that's good then. They saved everybody, so cool. I did look to see after I watched the film. I was like, was this based off of like a real story? And I think it was. The what is it? Itamori is not a real place in Japan, but a lot of people are thinking that it's based on the Gifu prefecture, because they had like a skyline that like matched up or something. It was like a lot of fan theories, so we don't know officially where it is, but Gifu seems to be like the best bet, I guess, if you want to walk the skyline of your name in real life.
We know that I do love the architecture. I love how he does all these landscapes.
Yeah.
And of course, everybody goes to Tokyo now and says, "Oh, I want to take a picture at the staircase where they meet," which we don't have a slide for, but still, it's like the fact that people go to Japan and they take a picture and take a still from the anime and go like this, and it's the same place. Like those are the kind of things to me that are phenomenal. Like in the video game world, to me, that's what made Marvel Spider-Man so amazing. Because wow.
Amazing
Yes.
Spider-Man.
It was so spectacular that I've walked through the streets of New York myself, that I would see how sensationally they captured all. You set it up. I'm going to keep going. It made that game superior. And
God dang it.
It was right there. It was great.
Well done.
Like whelpsling into the burrows and doing the whole thing and feeling that you're in the real place. You're in a real city. Living, breathing New York, Manhattan. It was all there, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I love about anime films like these. And certain anime shows that do this, that go and take their time to build Tokyo the way Tokyo is, the way that you can go in real life or watch it from your screen and be like transported to that world that is actually a real place. Yes. That's, to me, that's the most amazing feat of anime animation. It's not just when you do the most fantastical things like Luffy punching Kaido or stuff like that, because that's great. And when you watch My Hero, that's great. But when you watch stuff like Your Name, Weathering With You, like the rain effects get me every freaking time. Like the fact that you see rain, the way it collapses, and I'm dead. But yeah, like I love how he takes that inspiration from real places. That even though they're not real places that he's building there, he's trying to allude to something that's real. He's not taking the inspiration from something fantastical or too far removed. That way you still feel drawn into this fictitious piece of Japan called Inomori. So
I can definitely relate to what you're saying, because last summer I lived in California for like a couple months, and the whole time I was just like, oh my god, I'm in GTA, I'm in Los Santos. And I would text my friends pictures of stuff. I'm like, look, I'm on the pier, and they're like, oh my god, I blew up a tank there. I'm like, yeah.
I just imagine Jamie waking
and that's
up
how your
every
friends
morning.
got calls from the CIA.
Yep.
About the tank that you
I just imagine you every morning waking up going, oh shit, here we go again.
Bro,
every time
California is a wild place.
Wasted. Like
we also went up to the observatory, so I was like, oh my god, I jumped off this place so many times. I skydived here
in real life.
It's crazy. No, not in real life. In the game. In the game.
Suspension of disbelief.
Bucks and 6. That's a sports reference for the other otakus here who don't follow sports.
I have no idea what's going on. I'm just rocking my Cowboy Bebop shirt.
My team is the Hornets, and they always perform terribly. So
I don't have a team, but I live in Orlando, and I feel that we don't have a team. So
the Orlando Magic are a team, but that's fair.
It's not
good. That's fair.
So Isaac, since I know you still exist, favorite moments of Your Name?
It's probably the ending, honestly. Actually, or
Dakota, like the whole after the epilogue per se.
Yeah, because I should put it. I don't know, but it is kind of it melts my heart, kind of deal. Yes, I'm. The older I get, the more. How should I put it? More. Kind of deal. Like you get emotional, especially during these type of times.
In here.
Yeah, yeah. You're spot on there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Michael Thomas.
My favorite moment is probably like the midway point where we have the twist happen, right? Because at first it's like, okay, we're in a weird body switching movie. It's cute. It's a little anime romance, and there's like, oh no, she's dead. Oh no,
Yeah.
that was years ago. It's like, okay, what happens here?
So the moment at the library, that's where everything starts.
That general area, I can't say it's that specific scene, but it's like when that reveal happens, and then like the aftermath of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a completely different movie at that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
that was pretty dope.
I can see why that can rub some people the wrong way. Like looking at Suzume, right? That is what it's always going to be from beginning to end, essentially. Like there's no major twist, I would say, in Suzume. It starts off kind of like a fantasy movie, and it's just a fantasy movie all the way through, which tonally makes it more consistent. Yeah. But I don't know. The moment here in Your Name, I thought it made sense, and it was surprising enough upon initial viewing. And then again, this is my like second or third time watching it. Seeing it happen again, I'm just like, yeah, I knew this was coming, but still it took me by surprise somehow. That was well played. So that might be for me the standout.
It kind of I had to take a moment to pause for a second because it definitely that was also one of my favorite moments of the film, just because it was so well done. And like at the beginning, for some reason, I had an inkling. I was like, is Mitsuha like living in the past or something? I guess it was because they were doing like the rituals and stuff. But then I saw she was like using her cell phone and like pretty modern technology. So I'm like, no, it's the present. And then I was like, gotcha, it was in the past, just 3 years in the past. So I was like, oh, okay, y'all got me.
That sounded like a Dave Chappelle gotcha.
That just shows because it got me in the reverse to where like when the twist happened, I forgot she was using her cell phone. I'm just like, that's why it felt like it was like 30 years ago. No, it wasn't. You're just an idiot. You have short-term memory loss.
Oh, so it's one of those moments that's like, so that's why. And then you're an idiot. It's no. I hate when when you're like building the theory and you're like, oh, this is what's going on. And then you go back and you're like, nah.
No.
So to me, it always, the whole movie. No, I'm not doing that. I have a lot of moments, but the moment that, and it's funny because I was watching the film, and I told myself, okay. And I'm going to be honest, I was doing other things. I was watching it just to refresh everything. I wasn't like sitting down and just watching it. And the moment came on the screen, and I was like, okay, I've seen this before. I know I love this moment, but it's not going to hit me, right? And then I start going, and it's hitting me. It's like, and I'm like, exactly. And I'm like, no. And it's when he writes, "I love you."
Yeah.
Like because the story in spite of the freaky Tokyo Itamori thing, right? And the swaps and trading places, it is a sleeper, low-key teen romance that starts to develop because they start caring about each other. He wants to stop groping Mitsuha. He wants to be a better human being. You know, I know, but the intention is there now. You know,
he needs a stronger will, but the intention was there, I guess.
Yeah,
there you go. I mean, he wouldn't have made it as a Green Lantern, but
it's funny because I feel like I probably would have reacted the same way, but it's just the thought that like she was like, "Oh yeah, he wrote his name here," and she looks down and says, "I love you." Part of me was like, "Oh, that's cute." The other part of me was like, "Damn it."
No, but the
like,
funny
why
thing
did he do that? He could have said, "Love you, Taki." Like,
that's fair, valid.
Now I don't think Taki wants to start doing, but he would like.
He wants to,
and that's kind of the conversation they have. Is like, I know what you've been doing. It's like, so I was like, sorry,
once.
But that moment, right, where she understands, she sees it, and she's crying and laughing, and she's low key angry, but she feels so loved at the same time, right? Like that mixture of emotions, and the fact that teen romance story was still the anchor of this story, even in the midst of the tragedy of the comet and everything else happening. Like that's the whole anchor of the entire film. And then, of course, because of that moment, the ending lands the way it lands, right? And so to me, that's like the strongest moment of the entire film for me. And it still hits me every freaking time. Like I still go, you know, because it's the cheesiest thing forever. But, and even then, like what happens before where he writes it, that is the first time they hang out.
Yeah.
Ever. And they're having a blast. They're having that interaction and stuff like that. And it's not about who's feeling what. It's about something that's known. You know, it's a known quantity at this point. It's not something they're trying to discover.
I will tell you, that moment on the train where he doesn't recognize her, I was pissed. I was like legit angry.
Because you don't understand why.
Yeah.
But
no, I'm telling you, I understand why. This is my second viewing. I understand
you're
why.
Still pissed.
And I'm still pissed.
The funny thing
like,
is,
don't do this to me, movie.
No, but the best thing about that is that as you were remembering that, Taki's pissed. Because Taki remember, this is the moment where Taki's remembering the encounter. As he's Mitsuha, he's starting to remember. Like Mitsuha's memories are flooding into him. So he's starting to remember that they did meet before. Because after that is when they meet here, he actually says, "Oh, this is when you gave me this 3 years ago, but I didn't know who you were. So I kept it for you." Like that, those kind of little things. Yeah. You know, you get all ugly and horrible. It's, yeah.
Oh, something I did want to ask, because I was thinking about it just now, since we have the poster pulled up, is like, why do you guys think she cut her hair?
I know exactly why.
Oh.
It's story driven.
And I think we talked about this when we were talking about Suzume, right?
Yes. So yes. So we threw out the idea of Makoto Shinkai building his own little like universe. And is that you haven't seen Weathering with You, but there's not a spoiler really. It's a fact at this point. Mitsuha makes an appearance there. And Taki as well.
Oh.
But it's not like, it's like a very brief cameo. Like she's an attendant at a store and it literally says Mitsuha on the nameplate and it's grown up Mitsuha there. So, but in Suzume, she has that red ribbon or that red string or thread or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So the reason Mitsuha cuts her hair is because remember, the day before the comet impact occurs, she went to Tokyo to meet with Taki. So she gave him the string. So when she comes back, She no longer has something to tie her hair with.
That was an extreme answered solution to her problem. I can't tie up my hair anymore. Well, just get rid of it.
She want to do something different. I was like,
You're like, why'd you cut your hair? I met a boy. That's kind of what I thought it was. I'm like, oh, okay, understand.
Yeah. This movie's so good. Y'all got anything else on this? I think we've done the thing, guys. I don't know.
We
How y'all
did the
feel?
thing. Huh.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah.
It's a good movie. That's all I got to say.
It's a great movie.
It is.
There's some inconsistencies here and there. Like this is, I've said this on many shows. This is kind of the issue when you have like a time centric story. You're always going to run into time loops or plot holes or paradoxes. But outside of that, I thought it was a fantastic watch. And I'm glad Crunchyroll finally added it to their library. It was about time.
Not in the Swedish library. So.
Damn it, Crunchyroll.
I own it.
Job.
I own it.
Equality.
So.
Okay, Isaac, if you're going to start a rant about the fact that you don't have it in Crunchyroll, you can't just go to I own it. You're really deflating the entire movie.
At that point, you didn't have to say anything, Like we was ready to jump on the hate train and everything.
Let's just, Okay.
Yeah, potato.
So tomatoes.
Suzume, great movie. I love your name too. It's storming outside, so I might lose power, and I think that's a sign. I'm just saying, Weathering with You reference. I'm terrified.
We're probably going to cover that film at some point.
I haven't seen that one either.
Ooh.
It's on Max. Ugh.
Oh,
That did not even taste right.
I don't think it's supposed to. It's a thing and a person. So
they didn't have to do
we've done the thing, guys. We have talked Your Name by Makoto Shinkai. We had a blast talking about it. It's a phenomenal film. If you haven't seen it, what the hell are you doing here? Listening to us spoil the fuck out of it? But no, if you love Your Name as much as we do, let us know in the comments. Let us know what you think. Let us know how much you love it, how much you hate it. If you need to fight for equality as well, let's do it. We'll fight, But yeah, if you love Makoto Shinkai movies, there are other films that you want us to cover, either on the Shatter After or the Amateur Otaku podcast, let us know, and we will cover them for you. On the Shatter After front, we have a lot of stuff going on. We got plans with a certain, assassin of the Reeves type. That was weird. John Wick. I tried. It didn't work. You're muted, so that's fine.
I was just saying that was kind of weird. You could have just said John Wick. Get this man a
Mr. Wick.
Yes.
There's that moment where in this movie, she trips and she falls down. And my mind is just
like John Wick when he's falling down the stairs.
Yes. She just kept boom, boom, boom. I'm just like,
so okay. Wick. I'm just gonna say we got plans. We heard that it's official. The Continental, the spinoff show based on the hotel where Mr. Manager, Ian McShane's character, operates. It's coming out in September, so we're thinking of covering each and every John Wick film up until that release. So we're excited to do that. On the Amateur Otaku side of things, tomorrow, because this is a live stream, so if you're watching it live, it's going to be tomorrow. We have it on.
It's already up, probably.
Yeah, damn it. This we're going to be posting our My Hero Academia season 6 final take, especially of Core 2. So stay tuned for that. We will be covering a lot of the awesome shows that have been coming out and a bunch of new movies that are coming out in Crunchyroll because there's a lot of amazing stuff coming. So we're going to do a lot there. We have our good friend Jamie doing a lot of Dr. Stone stuff. We got Dr. Stone on the short side. And
it's pretty fun.
And I started a brand new series on One Piece because, yes, I took the plunge and I drowned and I washed up on the Grand Line. And I ate a devil fruit and then found out that I could no longer swim.
I understood that reference.
Because I'm a pirate. But yes,
I can't swim already, so I feel like I was born with devil fruit.
Well, damn. I am almost 900 chapters in on One Piece.
I'm so
Good
proud.
grief.
I am only 180 chapters away from the rest of the world. So yes, I am this close to being 100% cut up with One Piece. So I figured it's about time we start covering on this freaking channel. So on the Amateur Talk, where I started a short.
You get it, Isaac. You're proud. My God.
I just started a short series titled Thoughts on the Grand Line. So if you share with us one of your favorite moments, if I've read it, I'll cover it and react to it. And we'll start talking about One Piece and build a One Piece loving community because we need more people talking about One Piece. And I have a very special short that I'm going to be preparing for you guys whenever I get caught up with everybody. And let's just say I've acquired a certain piece of attire. But let's go ahead and wrap this up, guys. If you guys love talking about movies, find us on the Chatter after. Talking movies, films, a bunch of video games and stuff. Doing interviews with creators. And if you love if you love talking anime, go to the Amateur Otaku podcast. Because you know what we do there? We talk anime, damn it. And it's awesome.
Oh my God. Manga too.
You guys are awesome. Stay awesome. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.
Horses ass.